like to have a treat in the evenings after dinner, and usually that treat will be peanut butter in the form of a couple teaspoons of a chunky peanut butter, and that's it to make me satisfied. But once in a while you want to try something new, and I've been hearing a lot about a company called Legendary Foods. They are all over Instagram, and I figured why not give them a try and see what they're all about. The first thing about Legendary Foods is unfortunately they're not cheap. Their jars range in price from $10.99 to $17.99. You can buy them directly on their website, but also on Amazon, and that's where I got mine. Instead of buying them individually, actually I got a pretty good deal of 3 different varieties for $35.98. So that's actually almost buy 2 get 1 free. I'll put a link down below if you want to check it out. So Legendary Foods are based in Pasadena, California, and their philosophy is to use ingredients that are good for human health. For instance, they roast the nuts on a very low temperature, which helps prevent the fats from getting damaged in the oxidation process there. So these are definitely your healthier variety of nut butters. They also don't use any sugar. They use sweeteners such as erythritol and stevia. So these are all A-OK ingredients all throughout from what they use. Last time I checked, they have 5 different varieties of nut butters. I'm going to be talking about the 16-ounce jars today, but they also have portion size that you can get. And they also have yummy nut snacks in general. So the 3 varieties that I got in my multi-pack was, from what I understand, is one of the highest rated ones, the blueberry cinnamon bun nut butter, and the pecan pie almond nut butter. I'm very excited about trying that one. I love pecan nuts. And then a peanut butter chocolate chip nut butter. These, if you buy them individual, have varying prices. This one has a price of $17.99, this one is $15.99, and this one is $11.99. The nutritional value is also different for the different jars. We talk about a serving size of 2 tablespoons here. I usually do teaspoons, but 2 tablespoons, that's quite a large serving in my opinion, for just snacking directly out of the jar. The blueberry one has 160 calories, 14 grams of fat, 6 grams of protein, and 4 net carbs. And out of these carbs, we have 1 gram of sugar. The ingredients are almonds, erythritol, dried blueberries, sea salt, vanilla extract, and stevia. Oddly enough, there's no cinnamon in this. It does say blueberry cinnamon bun nut butter, but there's no cinnamon or even cinnamon flavor in there, so oh well, we'll give it a taste test later. In the pecan pie one, we have calories of 170 grams, the fat is 15 grams, the protein is 6 grams, the net carbs 2, and sugar here it's also 1 gram. So these are all pretty good macros for a keto diet. I wouldn't have anything against those. And this one has almonds, pecans, erythritol, sea salt, natural flavors, and stevia. So this is probably the most simple one of all of them, and I can't wait to try that one. This one seems to be the least popular of these 3 that I've seen online from reviews. And this one has calories of 180 grams, fat 15 grams, protein 6 grams, net carbs 4, and sugar 3 grams. So this one is quite high in sugar, 3 grams. So in my opinion, I'm kind of picky on my snacks, and I don't have that many net carbs to throw about in a day, so I probably wouldn't have bought this one. I would have gone for this one for sure, but since people say this one is super delicious, I'm excited to try it on too. I'm not a fan of dried fruit or berries, but you know, people say this one is delicious, so we'll give it a try and see how it tastes like. And in this one we have peanuts, unsweetened chocolate, erythritol cocoa butter, sea salt, stevia, and natural flavors again on this one. So those are the stats. They also carry a peanut butter cup nut butter and an apple pie, almond, and cashew nut butter. If I could only buy one out of all these, just based on the ingredients and what it sounds like, I would pick the pecan pie one. But now we're gonna do a taste test. I have already opened the lids, but I haven't smelt or tasted anything yet, so let's give it a try. So we are going to go with the least rated first, because why not? Okay, to me this smells just like plain old peanut butter. And they also say on the containers that you need to stir these because, you know, natural separation of oils, and these also need to be stored in the refrigerator after you open them. So I can imagine they'll become pretty hardened after being in the fridge for a while, so that might be an issue. I don't want to get too much on a spoon, but I definitely want to get some of that chocolate chip on there so we can see how that tastes like. Woo, that's sweet. Oh my gosh. No, way too sweet. That's all that sweetener that they put in there, erythritol and stevia. The thing is, when you've been on a keto diet for a long time, you become very sensitive to sweet taste, and it's just too much. It's way too sweet. No, I did not like that. It has like a texture to it that's a little bit like, not quite, but almost like sand in it. I'm not sure. I'm thinking that might be the erythritol if they're using non-powdered erythritol. I think that might be it, because it's kind of crunches in my teeth a little bit. Way too sweet, a little tiny bit artificial in the flavor too, I would say. Okay. Yeah, I gotta get that taste out of my mouth a little bit. Of course, now I'm very sensitive, so to me that was very sweet. And it didn't really have anything that popped out as special about it, just regular peanut butter with a little bit of chocolate chip thrown in there. I can see that this might be good for if you're making some kind of dessert, as a sauce maybe, or a filling to something. Or in my case, when I buy some products I don't like, I give it to my husband. He's also keto, and he is not as picky as I am when it comes to food. He won't eat pickled Swedish herring, and he won't eat Swedish caviar in a tube. Those are the only things I haven't seen him eat. Like, he's the one who makes me try things, so you know, if it hadn't been for him, I would never have had things like snails and other weird stuff in my life. So it's good to have a husband like that for making you try things, but also to give things to that you don't want to eat. But I think I might have some use for this in some Christmas baking coming up soon. Alright, so this was the peanut butter with chocolate chips, no sugar added, from Legendary Foods. Alright, on to our next one, and this is the one that I am actually most excited about because I love pecans. Pecans are really high in fat, they're 20 grams of fat per serving. So let's open this up. And this one is more almond based one, almond and pecan based. So mostly almonds, and I'm not sure, almonds is listed as first ingredient, so, and pecans as second, so I'm not sure exactly the ratio there. Stir it up really good. This one has a little bit less runny consistency right off the bat, and it's quite chunky. I like chunky peanut butter, so that's something I can imagine I would like. I see myself using this for Christmas baking as well. Pecan pie is one of the things I really do love. This time I'm going to be prepared for the sweet that's going to hit me, I am sure. Yes. That's good. You're stuck in your mouth. Okay. This is good. Nothing like the peanut butter one. The pecans definitely shine through here, and it's delicious. It definitely has a pecan pie flavor to it. The other one was more gritty. This one doesn't have quite the same, little tiny bit of that, but not as bad as that one. It's so darn rich. It's so rich that it gets stuck in your mouth. More so than peanut butter does. So if I gave this to the dog, he'd probably be licking his mouth for hours. So far, this is by far my favorite. I can see this one as a special treat, you know, a couple of teaspoons of this a night for dessert. But I can also definitely see myself baking with this. Maybe make some kind of keto shortbread cookie with a little bit of this inside. This is the last one. This is by far the one that people seem to like the most when I looked at reviews on Amazon. Let's give this a try. So like I said, almond butter based. It looks very, doesn't really smell like that. This is quite loose, so you definitely have to stir this one good. You can see large pieces of blueberry on top, so I'm not sure if they floated to the top or if there's just a lot of blueberries in there. since blueberry is a big part of its flavor profile, I'm gonna definitely make sure I get a piece of blueberry in there. You can see that's a whole blueberry, so not little tiny pieces, big piece. You can kind of tell in my face I don't really know what to think about that. Okay, so it's not bad. It's not, I don't know. This tastes like a cinnamon bun with blueberries. There's no cinnamon in there. I don't get it. How is that possible? That's weird. And those are real blueberries in there, whole blueberries. Okay, so again, almonds, erythritol, dried blueberries, sea salt, vanilla extract, natural flavors, and stevia. Okay, so natural flavors, that can mean so many things. There are so many companies out there making flavor extracts nowadays that are really good tasting. They really do taste like the real thing. It would not surprise me if natural flavors in this case include some cinnamon bun flavor, because that tasted like cinnamon bun. First, when I tasted it, my first thought was, oh, I don't like it, it's too sweet. But then it kind of grows on you, and you like, okay, this is good. I like to eat my cinnamon buns, you know, get into the, you know, bread of it, chew it. This wouldn't be my preferred way of eating a cinnamon bun, but it's actually pretty good. Since the blueberries are so large, they do still have a little bit of that softness to them when you chew them. So they're actually not that bad. And blueberries is one of the berries I still eat once in a while, so I'm okay with that. I have a jar of regular chunky peanut butter here, and this is just dry roasted peanuts and salt in here. And for 2 tablespoons, this one has 190 calories, 16 grams of fat, 8 grams of protein, 4 grams of net carbs. You know, the macros between all of these are not that different from regular peanut butter, so that's something to keep in mind. This one is a little bit too artificial. Nothing special about it that made me think that this is worth paying so much more extra to get the chocolate chips in there. Nah. I would say if you really want chocolate chips, get some regular peanut butter, put some Lily's chocolate chips in there. You have the same thing for a fraction of the cost. The benefit of Legendary Foods, as I see it, is that these are novel flavors that are a little bit special, give you a treat, but the nuts are also roasted at a lower temperature, which is healthier for you because, you know, they're not as damaged when it comes to the fat profile. So that is a huge benefit if you are picky about things like that. Alright, so for a quick summary here, these are quite expensive, special treats. If you like sweet treats and you missed out on keto, definitely go ahead and buy these. You probably love all of these. I'm one of those people who don't really like super sweet things anymore, but I have to say that the pecan pie one was pretty delicious, and I see myself using this one in baking, if anything. I don't think I would use any of these for snacking. It's just too sweet. But as a baking ingredient or a filling of some kind or a dessert add-on or something like that, I can see that these would be very valuable. And if you're interested in trying these, check out the link down below for the good deal on a 3-pack on Amazon. And that's it. Thanks.